Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and Integrity doing a Toon deck profile. So I'm really excited to see you guys because this deck is a really awesome deck that plays all sorts of nostalgic monsters, but Toon versions of them, which is absolutely insane and really awesome. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in every single video, getting a signed card in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Toon Blackluster Soldier. This card is a definite 3 of in the deck, and it has some absolutely insane effects. And it cannot be normal summon or set, it must first be special summoned from your hand by tributing Toon monsters from your hand or field whose total level equal 8 or more. And then while you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monster, this card can attack your opponent directly. And then once per turn, if you control Toon World, then you can target a card on the field and banish it, but this card cannot attack the turn you activate that effect. But that's a really awesome effect. We then play 3 copies of Toon Dark Magician. Toon Dark Magician is a really good 3 of in the deck because it has a really awesome effect that it can't attack the turn it's summoned, which a bunch of the Toons in this deck actually have that effect, besides Toon Blackluster Soldier. But this card also has the ability while you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monster, this card can attack your opponent directly. And once per turn, you can discard a Toon card or a copy of a manga reran, and then activate one of these effects to special summon a Toon monster from your deck, except another copy of this card, ignoring its summoning conditions, or you get to add a Toon spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is a really insane effect. We then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Toon Dragon. This card is a really good 2 that has the ability that once per turn, you can special summon a Toon monster from your hand, except another copy of this card, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is a awesome effect just to instantly get cards like Blackluster Soldier, or even your copies of Toon Dark Magician onto your side of the field. I then play 2 copies of Toon Harpy Lady. Toon Harpy Lady is a really good 2-of in this particular build because this card comes in extremely handy because it has the ability that it cannot attack the turn it's summoned, and if you control Toon World, you can instantly special summon this card from your hand. Then, if you control another Toon monster, you can destroy a spell or trap card that your opponent controls, and you can only use the effect of this card once per turn, and it also has the ability while you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monster, this card can attack directly. We then play 2 copies of Toon Mermaid. Toon Mermaid is a really good 2-of in this particular build because she can special summon herself to your side of the field. I then play 3 copies of the Black Stone of Legend. The Black Stone of Legend is a really good 3 on the deck because you can tribute this card to special summon out your copy of Red Eyes Toon Dragon directly from your deck to your side of the field, which is a really good effect to just instantly get a big Toon monster on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. This card is a really good 3-of in the deck that's basically a Cyber Dragon. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then during the main phase, you can add another Kashtira monster from your deck to your hand, which is always going to be another copy of Fenrir. And this card also has the ability that when this card declares an attack, or if your opponent activates a monster effect, except during the damage step, then you can target one face-up card your opponent controls and banish it face down, which is a really good effect just to be able to have spot removal in this deck. I also really like this card in this build because it is a level 7 monster, so it can help you go in for all sorts of different rank 7 plays, like your copy of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom to round out the monsters. Ash Blossom is just really good in this deck just to be able to stop the opponent from touching the deck. This could be any hand trap that you want to play, but I really like Ash Blossom in this build. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Terraforming because we really want to get to our field spell as quickly as possible. So this card is really good in the deck. We play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is a really good 1-of in the deck just to stop the opponent from hand trapping us. I'm then playing a single copy of Instant Fusion. This is so I can summon out Millenniumized Restrict, because I thought it would be a really cool throwback to Maximilian Pegasus to be able to also summon out Millenniumized Restrict in this deck. But Millenniumized Restrict also is extremely handy in this deck because it's basically like an additional copy of Called by the Grave, which is really good because it can eat a hand trap. We then play a single copy of Comic Hand. Comic Hand is a really good one-of in the deck that's basically like a Snatch Steal that it can take an opponent's monster. If you control Toon World, you can equip this card to an opponent's monster and take control of it, and it's treated as a Toon, and it can also attack your opponent directly if they don't control a Toon, which is a really awesome effect just to instantly get a hold of an opponent's monster and turn it into a Toon monster. We then play 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents. Toon Table of Contents can add any Toon card from your deck to your hand, which is a really awesome effect just to instantly get any card that you need directly from your deck to your hand. Now, the card you're usually searching off this card is going to be one of our 3 copies of Toon Bookmark, which is also another searcher for the deck. This card has the ability you get to add a Toon World or a card that specifically lists Toon World in its text from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. And if Toon World you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead, giving your copy of Toon Kingdom a little bit of protection. I then play 3 copies of Toon Page Flip. Toon Page Flip is a really good 3 in the deck because if you control Toon World, you can reveal any 3 Toon monsters with different names in your deck to your opponent, and then your opponent randomly picks one and special summons it to your side of the field, ignoring its summoning conditions, and then you shuffle the other 2 back into the deck, which is a really good effect just to instantly get you an extremely powerful Toon monster on your side of the field. And the majority of the time with this card, you're going to reveal your copy of Red Eyes, Dark Magician, and Blackluster Soldier to get one of our 3 boss monsters on the field off this card. We then play 3 copies of Toon Kingdom. Toon Kingdom is a really awesome 3 of the deck that counts as Toon World while it's on your side of the field. And when this card is activated, you banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, and it also has the ability that your opponent cannot target your Toon monsters you control with card effects. And if a Toon monster you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish 1 card off of the top of your deck instead, which is a really good effect to protect each one of your Toon monsters. I really love that effect to just be able to protect your cards. I then play 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. I have changed out Extravagance for Prosperity in the deck because this card just helps us dig into the deck to get to the exact card that we need in this particular build. I really like this card as a 3 of in the deck. So that's it for these spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing a single trap card in this build, and that's going to be a single copy of Toon Terror. This is the counter trap for the deck that's basically the Infernity Barrier. Then when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control both Toon World and a Toon monster, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that card, which is a really good effect, especially since this card is searchable. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This card is really good in the deck because it's super easy to make rank 7s in this deck and just be able to burn your opponent for 500 every time they breathe, which is really good. I really love this card and it's my favorite XZ of all time, so it's a really good 2 of in this deck. And then play a single copy of Number 60. Number 60 is really good in this deck because it lets you double the attack of a monster. So you can use this card with your copy of your Blackluster Soldier to boost it up to 6,000 attack points, and then you can attack your opponent directly for 6,000 damage, which is really cool. I then play a single copy of Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is just here to shut down the graveyard. This card is really easy to summon to your side of the field, and it's a really good XZ monster. I then play a single copy of Number 82. This card is what I use to go into my copy of Zeus, and this card is just really good in the deck because it basically is like a Toon monster, because while you control a face-up spell card, this card cannot be targeted for an attack, and once per turn you can detach a material from this card, and this turn this card can attack your opponent directly, but other monsters you control cannot attack. But this card is really good just because you can make this card in the deck and basically attack the opponent directly and then go main 2 and make a copy of Zeus, which is really good. I then play a single copy of Utopia and a single copy of Utopia the Lightning just in case I need to make a quick 5,000 attack point monster, which is just really, really good. I then play a single copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. AA Zeus is just really good to make in this particular deck to be able to throw on top of any of our XZ monsters besides our copy of Utopia the Lightning, which is really, really good in this particular build to be able to make this card and board wipe the field. We then play a single copy of Access Code because it can pop multiple cards on the field and it's super easy to make in this particular deck, which is why I'm playing this card as a 1 of. I'm then playing a single copy of Unicorn to spin stuff. Phoenix to pop spells and traps, and IP Masquerena to be able to go into our copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn to spin cards. We then play a single copy of Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh is a really good one-of in the deck because you can make it with your copy of your Millennium Eyes Restrict. Now this is a really neat tech card in this particular deck, and it's actually Cyber/Harpy Lady. This card is super easy to make in this deck because it has the ability, this card can be synchro summoned by treating one Harpy monster that you control as a tuner monster, which is really cool because your Toon Harpy Lady is a Harpy monster. So you can treat your copy of your Toon Harpy Lady as a tuner monster and your copy of Toon Mermaid as the other level 4 monster to be able to make Cyber/Harpy Lady, which is super cool in this deck. I then finally play a single copy of a Millennium Eyes Restrict to be able to summon it out to my side of the field with instant fusion, which is super easy to do, and this card is just really good to be able to make in the deck to be able to basically eat a hand trap. Now one card I did consider playing in this particular build is a copy of Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome, and you can play those cards by cutting the copy of number 82 and a copy of the Flare Metal by playing, so you can play a copy of Bahamut Shark and a copy of your Totally Awesome to give you an additional negate. But with me just playing 2 copies of Mermaid in this particular build, I ended up cutting it from the extra deck. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Toons before, you definitely should give this deck a try because it's just a really, really awesome deck and super nostalgic to play all the different Toon monsters because they're based on old school boss monsters, which is really, really cool. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.